good, man? It's your boy JusB, and welcome back to the JusB Show. Now, as you know, if you're a returning listener, the JusB Show is about self-love, unity, progression, and community support. We tend to talk about where you come from, what you're doing right now, where you plan on going, and then we motivate the people. I happen to have a variety of different individuals ranging from entrepreneurs, recording artists, other podcasters, authors. I mean, you know them. I interview them. Period. And this particular gentleman that's on the show with us today, he's a return interviewer. This is his second time around, but it's been 3 years since I've spoken to my guy, man. And last time I introduced him, but this time I'm gonna let him introduce himself, man. How you been, brother?
All right, man.
Welcome back, man.
Thank you,
Tell
man.
me who you are.
Well, man, it's amazing to be back at your show, bro. After 3 years, man. I haven't seen you in a minute.
Yeah.
I only see you on social media.
Right.
Well, yeah, I know, right? So, guys, so my name's Suriel. I'm a photographer, videographer, content creator, and also teach people content.
Yeah.
You know, that's what
super
I do.
dope, man.
You know?
So you got clients on retainers now?
Yeah,
and all
clients on retainers, you know.
Now, Cruz.
Yes.
Look, man, check this out, man. when we first met 3 years ago, man, and we interviewed, bro, I thought for a moment that I wasn't even gonna be able to finish the interview. You were so shy, shy.
Right.
But since then, I've watched you grow.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, when I told you, like, yo, never stop posting content, I think you really listened to that, because now you post like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You're doing so much stuff, from being on a multitude of podcasts to doing photography, content creation, speaking at panels at different events and conferences. And I'm like, where the hell did the shy guy go, man? Tell me a little bit about it, man. What made you open up?
Well, I mean, there's something, I think when I was younger, I always wanted to achieve that. And 3 years ago, I saw myself doing that.
Yeah.
But it took me a while to build up my confidence, but also the business started to grow. The money started to go up, and the confidence grew with the money. Yeah. And I was going to a lot of events. I started covering a lot of like personal development events, like WealthCon, other events, conventions, just being around like 9-figure earner speakers. Right. And I think being around them, that was the thing that helped me get confident. And then just absorbing with top people in the industries. Yeah. So I think that throughout the time that helped me grow as a person and stuff like that.
Right. Now, back then you were just jumping into the Latino community. Yeah. Right. Yeah. How deep are you in it now?
Oh, very deep.
Killing the game, man.
Yeah, very deep, very deep. You know, I did a presentation this week on teaching photography, and they were bombarding me with a lot of questions, and I'm like just back to back, and I was like, guys, I'll post the content pretty soon on social media. So
that's awesome,
you know?
Man. That's awesome. So have you been getting any paid speaking gigs?
I only got one, just one, very little. But we're trying. The next goal for 2025 is to get like more bigger stages.
Right. Now, how was it based off of going and do the free events? The free events, that's what we would call practice, right? Yeah. That we're practicing our craft. Yeah. Compared to doing that, knowing it's free. Yeah. To walking up there and knowing you got a bag for it. Yeah. What was that feeling like?
I mean, it felt, the first one, it was like, felt cool, because, you know, I was like, wow, you know, I'm an expert in my industry. Right. I decided to go expert, become a pro, and that's why built me the confidence. And I was like, okay, if I could do this one, a small little one that I got paid, I think I could get to bigger ones the next 2025.
Right. Now, has everything been local Las Vegas?
Yeah, everything has been local right now.
You gonna step out into the outside world?
Yeah, of course. Eventually, yes.
All right.
2025 is the goal, in 2026.
Yeah. Okay.
For next 18 months, it's like able to get more and bigger stages.
That's dope, man. I'm trying to put together a 20-city book tour right now.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, man, JusB, you ain't the same wild, crazy
I know, right?
that you was,
no,
man.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, man. So I just, you know, just to catch you up on me, man, I went through some things. Yeah. You know, I mean, I already went through some things to even start the JusB Show. Yeah. Starting in podcasting regardless, right? So then, but I just kept going through shit. You know, that mental health shit that I used to talk about, man, it's never left. Yeah, it's a consistent battle. Yeah. You know, one thing I can say, it hasn't grown. I've grown, meaning the dealing with mental health hasn't stopped. Right. Yeah. But the person that I've grown into, the man that I'm continuously growing into, has allowed me to deal with it, cope with it a little bit better. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And still, as before, man, I thrive in chaos, bro. So when there's hella shit going on, no fuck wrong with this mic. When there's hella shit going on, That's when I do the most, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Chaos doesn't bother me at all, man. But how do you deal with the chaos of being an entrepreneur, videographer, photographer,
mentoring people,
mentoring people? How are you able to deal with all of that?
And plus being a drummer too.
And that's right. I just found out my guy was a damn drummer.
Yeah, I know. So
hell,
I mean,
bro?
I think throughout the time, throughout many years, I was able to. I mean, when I started a couple years ago, I was handling one thing. During the time, I started to get bigger and bigger, and my name started to become way more known. And I was like, you know what? I told myself I was not ready to handle what I'm handling. I even told a friend, I was like, do you want to do everything that I'm doing? And he's like, no, that's too much for me.
Right.
I was like, well, you say you want to be like me, right? I'll give you everything to be like me all day.
Right.
But I think it's all those events I've been covering as a photographer, absorbing, being around like Ryan Pineda and other speakers around me that are like making it at the top and I think that's also been helping me seeing how these guys are killing it in the game, you know? So I think the way I deal with that is like not being afraid of taking on new challenges as my calendar is very busy, right? But I'm willing to take on more because I know I'm capable for more. You know, we leaders don't stop growing. You know.
Yeah, I know that's right. Get to that money, man.
Yeah.
Get to that money, man.
Yeah.
If y'all haven't seen Suriel's work, man, make sure that you go tap in with my brother right here. He does some amazing, dope content, and he will get you right. If you're a business owner, reach out. I mean, unless you do business with me, keep reaching out to me. But
right.
Reach out to my boy, especially in the Latino community, man. He's really deep in there. A few of your colleagues, I believe, have reached out to me to come be on the show, and that's super dope. And I was like, I know that came from Cruz for sure. Yeah, that's a plug from him, man. I definitely appreciate you with that, man. What has been your biggest challenge when it comes to being a videographer and a photographer and dealing with some of these clients, man?
I think like able to shoot sometimes in the morning and in the night.
Right.
There's sometimes I got into shoot like all day, and then I'm very tired at the end. Like last time I got to shoot an event from like 2 to like 9 p.m.
Right.
And then I went to do that shoot that night from 9:30 to like 12 p.m.
Yeah.
And I was exhausted, and you know, my face, I wasn't trying to show that I was exhausted, but low key, I was already like tired. I was like, you know, I can't handle it. I mean, I'm like, I need energy. And my client is like, are you okay?
I need rest.
and my client is like, are you okay? Do you need something? I'm like, no, I just came from another event. So he's like, yeah. I was like, yeah. But throughout the time, I've been used to it, but there's some moments that it hits me. You know, I'm human. I'm not a robot.
Right.
I'm not Optimus.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I thought I was Optimus Prime for like 18 months, man. And then after 18 months, I said, hold up.
Yeah.
I need to crash.
I know where I was like, I'm not the Optimus Tesla robot. So, you know what I mean? You know?
Yeah.
But, you know, there's some days I take my days off like yesterday, but rarely I take some days off.
That's funny that you mentioned the Tesla robot, right?
right. No, I'm serious.
Because, you know, everybody says that eventually the robots will take over every position one
industry.
Day, right? Every industry. But I don't think they can ever take over podcasting.
That's not going to happen.
I don't think so. Y'all going to have... Would y'all watch a robot conversation?
With JusB at the JusB Show? Can you imagine?
Now, I would interview a robot. I'd interview a robot,
right?
But it ain't finna be two robots on the JusB Show.
I mean, it's gonna be automated through AI.
That would be crazy.
Can you imagine?
Could you imagine? That'd be a great conversation, though.
Yeah, right. Automation.
It'd be fake, but I mean, it'd be a great conversation.
Automated AI, you know.
Automated AI.
I think remember years ago we're talking about going to Mars, right? Doing a podcast. Yeah. I mean, that's gonna happen pretty soon. Elon Musk is working on that.
Yeah. So, damn. So I feel like they already been to Mars.
Yeah, I feel like
but I don't know. You know, Elon Musk, he's like a real life Tony Stark. He's a real life Iron Man for real.
No,
the things that he do is amazing, man.
And you know, talking about automation, you know, as a photographer, I use a lot of AI to give my clients 5-minute turnaround. And an event, say you do an event with me. Yeah, I cover an event. I give my clients photos right away after the event's over, and they're like, okay, I have the photos right away, and they're like, what? Right. I'm like, yes. Yeah, the fastest turnaround ever using AI.
That's that workflow, man. Yeah. AI is amazing.
Yes.
You know, I mean, shit. Right after this interview, I'm gonna already have like 50 clips ready. I mean, when I press record to turn it off, I'm going to already have 50 clips in my email.
Right.
Don't ask me how I do that. I'm just really, really good at setting up prompts through chat GPT.
Oh, yeah.
And Monday. And I mean, you name it. I'm really into the AI, man.
I mean, yeah.
I've created a great flow.
Yeah.
You know, a great workflow for myself. Now, I've tried to collaborate with others to teach them my workflow.
Yeah.
To help me out and stuff like that. It didn't go as well. It's weird, man.
Yeah.
And speaking on that, when you're collaborating with different people throughout the city, what are some things that you would tell the audience that they could try to make it work? Because when you have so many different personalities and people that feel like they're on different levels, it's kind of hard to work well with somebody.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I try to learn from them and say, let's collaborate. You know, I got to collaborate with a lot of videographers doing conventions.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, teach me your style. I don't care if I've been doing it for the same amount of time, but I'm like, teaching me your style. And then either I hire them for my own speaking stuff. Yeah. Just because I know how they work. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I was like, even though you're my friend, I'll hire you to do my own events when I get invited to speak at. Yeah. And they get shocked.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. Let's talk about friends in business, man.
Yeah. I mean, you know?
Let's talk about friends in business, man. How many of your friends do you do business with?
Not so many, actually. You know, maybe like 2 or 1. Yeah. But it's all business.
Right, yeah. I've totally found it much easier to conduct business with people that I do not know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, totally.
I feel like when people know you, they judge you, bro. Like, they're like, oh, no, you're my friend, bro. You don't act like that outside of here. You don't do this. You don't do that. Like, bro, fuck you, bro. Yeah. I am trying to become better. Yeah. Right?
Oh, totally.
Those friends that judge you for trying to become better, they call you fake.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what? I'm just growing.
Oh, yeah, totally. You know, that's been happening to me this year throughout the time I've been growing. So many people that started with me, the OG people. Yeah. And now they've just been leaving me. And they're like, oh, you're copying my content. And I was like, what are you talking about? We have nothing in common. Like, my content is very different than yours. Mine is more niche than yours. And I was like, mine's more edit than yours, but nothing wrong. But then I try to, not burn the bridges with anybody. Right. Because you never know that next,
bro, I wish somebody would tell me you copied my content, bro. You probably copied somebody else. Right? Because I feel like the most unique thing about anybody in their content is them. Yeah. The person, you.
And nothing, you are the content. You are the brand,
Exactly. So everybody's content is essentially different.
Yeah, everybody's
right? I like to tell everybody, your imprint cannot be duplicated. No. So just if you do the show called the Suriel Cruz show about self-love, unity, and progression, it's still going to be different.
Yeah, of course.
Than if I do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's always going to be different. So those out there watching, just always remember that. Don't let anybody psych you out of creating content because your content may be similar to theirs. It's different because it's you. Always remember that, man.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Suriel, man.
Yes. Tell me.
It's been a long time, so I don't know what you've been doing all the way lately. I've been seeing you all over this damn phone screens on the regular, though. Mentoring. Let's mention them all again. Yeah. Mentoring, photography, videography, seminars, conferences, summits. I mean, you think of it, you name it. Now you have clients with retainers, right? Yeah. I'm sure you got a personal life, man. What's your personal life look like?
Personal life, I mean, going to the gym,
Okay.
Once in a while, go party once in a while.
You've been getting right lately.
Yeah. Of course, I've been hitting the gym, back 3 years ago. I stopped hitting the gym when I met you. Right. Literally someone challenged me 2 years ago. He's like, I'll challenge you to go hit the gym with me at 5 a.m. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, okay. Yeah. So
that's the boss hour.
So he's like, okay. So I started going at 5 a.m. and then at 9 p.m. And then now I just go all the time now.
Okay. So what are some things that you do to make sure that you're good? 'Cause self is priority.
Oh yeah.
I love that everybody does all these amazing things or whatever. And I'm gonna be transparent with you on this particular podcast, right? Yes. All of that time 3 years ago, when I was talking about self-love, hardcore, heavily, bro, I wasn't practicing it myself. Yeah. Because after 18 months of going nonstop, I crashed. Yeah. I haven't done the JusB Show in a year.
No, it's been a minute. I mean, I was like,
I crashed, bro. I got overwhelmed for the first time in my life.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I noticed that. I was like, where's JusB? Where
man. Go? So That's when I realized that I have to start practicing the shit that I'm preaching on this podcast or at these conferences and summits, seminars or whatever. Like, I can't be out here telling people, be an advocate for self-love and mental health and not practice it, bro.
Yeah.
Have you been practicing it?
Oh, yeah, totally. You know, there's some days I take a day off. I'm like, I say, don't call me. Don't answer. I don't answer the phone call.
Good shit.
I put on Disturb, and I just be like at home, just like sleeping or just watching some movies, you know?
Yeah.
Like outside of doing speaking, photography, videography, drumming, and a lot of stuff, I'm always like, so just some days I'm like, I'm not going to go out, just work from home or just not even touch the laptop or the phone and just chill and just sleep in all day. I have those moments. A lot of people ask me, do you actually sleep?
Right.
I'm like, yes, I do. Like, maybe it doesn't look like it, but actually I do sleep.
Yeah.
I don't sleep 8 hours, but I sleep 3 hours. Yeah. But for me, that's my recharge.
When you're a content creator, 3 hours, it's like, boop, back to 100.
It feels good. And then sometimes, even after the gym, I after I hit the gym, I just take a nap too. Mm-hmm. So I take those moments. I'm like, okay, nobody's answering me. I have a to-do list. I'm like, okay, I finished this. I already sent this to my client. I already sent these videos to my client. Yeah. Photos are already done in the instant, so I'm not worried about the photos. Right. But videos, I'm more, people are like, oh, where's the videos at? I'm like, here you go. I already sent them to you right now. Just give me a second. I have my team working on it. So, but sometimes they're very like pushy. I'm like, yes, give me a second. Just, I'm working on multiple stuff at the same time.
Hey, look, man, if you deal with this gentleman right here, and you're a client or a friend or you just do business with them and you call and that phone on do not disturb, don't call back. Don't keep calling. Wait until that man call you back. Yeah. We be needing breaks. Yeah. We need to rest and shit. Yeah. Let us breathe and leave the phone alone and sleep for 3 hours.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because there's sometimes I really don't even answer. Yeah. And that's all I'm not, I'll call you tomorrow and then and sometimes I don't even call them the next day. Right.
I forgot. I'm gonna remember.
I'll remember.
I'm gonna learn you something. I remember too.
Throughout the time you've been building like community in person, and community online, I try to talk to everybody unless it's an emergency. I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah. But unless it's like, say someone's calling me for a gig or something, I was like, okay, I can't miss that. Yeah. But sometimes I try to be like very, very efficient. Yeah.
I feel you, man.
And I don't sit down with anybody else like I used to. So
right, that's good. That's good as hell, man. Look, man, let's talk about what's going on in the world, right? Yeah. Not so much because I don't really like to dig into politics. I'm not a political guy. Don't worry about who I voted for or what I represent.
Me neither. I don't.
I represent me.
I really don't
I vote for just me every day.
That's the only thing I don't talk about either in my social media.
But with all of the crazy shit that's. And let's not act like all of the crazy shit that we're going through in the world is anything new. It's just repurposed from years ago. Yeah. That's all the world does. That life just repeats itself in new forms and new fashions, but it's the same concept, right?
Yeah.
Bro, do you believe that unity do you believe it's possible anymore?
I don't know. I feel like we're a more divided country than ever, even between friends on both sides. Yeah. And now there's people that I know that I'm kind of scared to talk to because I tell them I say this, they're like, oh, you're in this side. I'm like, look, I'm not either side. Yeah. I just, I have it's a very hard topic because I tell my friends I don't even want to talk about it. Yeah. But sometimes I'm like, who do I talk to? Yeah. Either this person is going to get mad or this person is going to get mad. Right. So it's kind of, for me, it's kind of emotional thing because I got into work with both parties. Yeah. As a photographer and videographer. So it's kind of like very like, whoa, if I say I work with them more, they're going to get mad at me. If I say I work with this people more.
Well, I love all y'all.
So I was like, but I feel like we're not as united as we used to. Yeah. I mean, we never been, I think, but now I feel like it's worse than before.
Yeah. Nah, man, I can definitely agree with you there, man. I just, and I'm a true believer in unity, brother. Yeah. Like, I really believe in it, and I'm going to make sure it happens one way or another in some form of fashion before I leave this planet in this industry that we're in, bro. But the world is really fucked up, man, and the more and more. That's why I hate even watching the news and watching that shit on social media because when I start looking at stuff, it kind of makes me feel a little doubtful.
Yeah, definitely.
That my mission is even possible, bro.
Yeah, definitely. And I got to work with English and Spanish. I mean, both cultures. Being bilingual helps me in both. But, I got to work with the more this side, the English people.
Yeah.
There's been a little bit of like crazy attitudes on me.
Mm-hmm.
I went to go cover an event a couple of months ago. This person gave me a bad attitude, and I almost left.
Yeah.
But I was like, I kept it very professional. There was so many people.
Yeah,
totally. He was like literally giving me a bad attitude.
Right.
He's like, I'm on my video like this. I'm like, that's old school.
Right.
I'm like, you want to just do old school? Just record on your phone. I really don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
But
he was giving me a bad attitude.
Yeah. You just had to work it out.
I had to work it out.
Sometimes they just need a little enlightenment. Sometimes you got to show them the vision.
Yeah.
For them to even be able to see it.
Yeah.
That it's possible. You know what I mean? Like, so you can have a great idea. This is what I've noticed with clients. You can have a great idea.
Yeah.
But you can tell them a great idea, but if they've never seen themselves doing it, they won't rock with it, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, so when you show them a little preview,
and then sometimes they trying to be the expert. I'm like, first of all, I'm the expert. You're not the expert.
Didn't you pay me to do this?
I mean, you're paying me. You're paying my team. Like, I feel like sometimes they forget who we are behind the camera or in front of the camera,
Right. I mean, so 3 years ago, you were not doing all of the things that you're doing, man. You were just getting into it. You told me you was just getting back on your feet, getting out there, trying to establish yourself, establish a name for yourself, man. Mm-hmm. And now, 3 years later, the progression that has happened has just been amazing, right?
Oh, yeah.
And before we get to the closing, let me just say, friend to friend, host to guess, brother, I am so proud of everything that you've accomplished from then to now, right? But I know it hasn't been easy.
No, it definitely hasn't been easy. When I met you back then, I was going through a down phase in my business. I had a business partner that I worked with. That he took my money. He almost took my connections. I was going through a low moment, and a lot of people think, oh, right now he's killing it. Yeah, he got awarded best of the best in December. But there's people don't.
Make sure you send me his info so I never interview him. I don't like that. And this is my friend.
Yeah, so that was like that moment that I met you. I just had to show like a nice smile. Yeah, but really deep inside there was so much difficult things.
Well, let me ask you, man. Since then, has there been anything that has just broke you, bro? Like where till you were like, you know what? I don't want to fucking do this anymore.
No, actually, it hasn't.
It hasn't.
No, it hasn't.
You've been the first.
No, I'm serious. I just want more. Like, and I want bigger stages. I want my name to be known. I want a bigger team. Okay. I'm developing 2 photographers under me, mentoring them, doing my same style, my same system. 5-minute turnaround, and they're trying to do it, and they're getting there. Right. So I'm building them up, getting their first gigs and showing them how to get gigs as a photographer. That's the most amazing thing to be able to do that. And also, people are amazed by the photos that, Yeah, I'm gonna have to set up a little photo shoot. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make it happen. I do photography, but I just don't like taking pictures, bro. Right. I don't know what it is. I just don't know what it is, man. My absolute favorite thing to produce or do is podcasting. Hands down, man. I've pretty much started outsourcing for graphic design. Everything but podcasting. I outsource everybody to do that. That's a behind the scenes conversation. We'll talk more into it, man. But I love to end every podcast this way because I just think it's very important, right? I let everybody know that I hate to tell you this, but 2024 is going to end in like 43 days. Yeah. And then 2025 has an ending too. Yeah, yes, of course.
This podcast has an ending. Yes. And our lives end eventually. Yeah. Right? But when we look back at our lives, at that end date, what does that look like for you, bro? Like, what does success look like for you?
Well, besides the money, besides the cars that I want, right? And all this stuff, right? Yeah. I want to be able people to remember that Suriel helped me in other ways. There's people that have told me this time that, oh, you inspire me to make content. There's people that have told me you inspire me to start a business. There's people that have told me you inspire me to do so much stuff in the life. And then lately this year, and I've been getting a lot of phone calls with people like, oh, you inspire me to start recording myself on content. You inspire me and they start a business. You gave me an idea and I started to do it. There's people in my life that have been part of my life that I've seen them grow and they're growing their business and then they forget about me, but it's okay. But, I still love them. But then I got to see that and able to mentor a lot of businesses, work with 180 businesses a day, mentoring them. And then besides the other projects and the speaking. Right. And also the thing that has really, I felt it in my heart this year when I finished my talks and my events, people were like, man, your event gave me so much value.
That's important.
That was like, they're like, oh, you gave me the great tools to use.
Yeah.
For me, that was like the best to hear. And people like, oh, you inspire me. People have told me, and that's the thing. I love to hear that. And I want to be remembered at a bigger level of that. Yeah. I'm like, okay, different cities all around, like in Vegas.
Yeah.
It will say, Suriel helped me another way to inspire me and starting my life as a business.
Yeah.
Or start making content.
Right.
Know? Stop being afraid.
Hell yeah.
You know?
I know that's right, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I don't know if you've seen lately, but I have that new podcast series coming out. It's called A Gentleman's Choice.
Yes.
And I'm going to contact you, man. We're going to do some work together. I would love to have you or your other photographers in there getting some shots and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then just the bosses and the different prestigious people that'll be in the building, bro, that can lead up to them big dollars, more retainer.
Right.
We're going to try to make sure we put you on, brother. Yes. But, man, where can they find you, man, for the people that don't know you?
Well, they can find me on Suriel Cruz on Instagram, Suriel Cruz Salcedo Official. And all my social media is all Suriel Cruz.
Okay.
Yeah, all social medias.
And you know we got to motivate the people.
Yes.
That's my favorite thing to do,
That's the thing,
man.
right? That's the thing to do.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing to do,
That's the thing to do.
So if you have one piece of advice you can give to anybody in the world, what would that be?
Don't quit and start making content.
Don't quit. Start fucking making content. Y'all know my mouth bad, but your pocket's going to be bad if you quit or don't start making content.
Yeah. Just start making content. Don't quit and just keep on posting.
100%, man.
And don't worry about it.
Thanks again, man. It's always a pleasure. And y'all already know my 3 pieces of advice. It always end up to be like 5, but I'm going to just tell them all. Smile, laugh, and definitely motivate. Inspire 1. 2, inspire all. Be better than yesterday. And the last but not least, and this is the most important one ever, just be the best version of your goddamn self. And once you learn how to do that, be open to share it with a friend. You know, share it with a friend like, yo, I know how to be myself, but show them how to be comfortable being their authentic and true selves, man. I love you, brother. Glad to see you doing everything you do. Everybody, go follow my boy, and we out.
We out.